Good afternoon. I don't know where my hat is. It's weird because there's not many places it can be. You know, the place is... Good afternoon. I don't know where my hat is. Well, me neither. It's obsessively tidy in here. Like there's... Someone's stolen my hat. Give me a 1 in the chat. Give me a 1 in the chat. If when you can't find something, hat, vape, tobacco, phone, your almost first thought is someone's nicked it. Even if you've only had one person around that day and it was your girlfriend's auntie. Give me a 1 in the chat if when you can't find something, your first little thought, you're not the one that you stick with, but it just flashes through, someone's nicked that. I just want to find out how lonely I am with this one. Scrubs are hilarious. So many people. Who's nicked that? Like no one's been here today. That's amazing. That's so good. Who's nicked that? Tony's old man used to say, lock the doors, search for visitors. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Very, you know, that I like that, Tony, because my old man was he had a great sense of humor around visitors. You know, there was definitely an us and them thing going on. And even to like me, you know, the kids, they'd make little snide jokes about the visitors, you know, before, during and after their visit. Very, very funny bloke. Hello, everyone. Hello. You've missed nothing, mate. We were waiting for you. We've been sitting here. Yes, Shagrat. I have, on the back of, excuse me, I've got some kind of meat. I've got some kind of meat. On the back of, not necessarily how good he was, or they were, because they're both always a very high standard of content, but on the back of the subject that was largely under discussion, that being semiology, I emailed our friend Semiagog and I said to him, Goggles? I said, oi, Goggles, we really need to talk. And it's been on the cards for ages that me and Gogs have got to have a chat. Not only on the cards as in I want to, and he's said it, but a lot of viewers have said, you two really need to talk and all this. Sorry if I'm looking over there while I'm talking. I'm just getting the old Twitch settings. So you know by now what I'm doing. But yeah, I pinged him an email and he answered me, and that's on. So probably somewhere around the 8th, 9th, 10th, I said to him, let's wait for the new year. So, you know, first, second week of January of the new year, me and young Semiagog will be having a talk. We're not sure whether it's going to be his channel or my channel, but hardly matters. And maybe we'll do 2, and maybe we'll do 1 on each at some point. But that will be fascinating because listen to him talking about writing and writing in the general sense. And he had some lovely, you know, he answered some of Woe's questions really well, talking about when he was asked to describe writing in the general sense, he was talking about space and you know, proximity to someone and marks that are left through time. And I'd really like to go down that avenue of presence and absence with him, because for me, you know, he frequently referred to the idea that human speech came before writing. That tended to be his angle. If anyone, spoiler alert, but it was his kind of thing was about how humanity historically, I hope he'd agree with this anyway, how humanity has had a tendency to privilege speaking over writing, which he mentioned several times. What he didn't mention so much, if at all, I think, and I could be wrong because it was rather late and I am a little bit the area that he didn't look into is perhaps why humanity is privileged speech over writing. And then we get back to presence and absence. And that's why humanity is privileged speech over writing, because speech is presence. When I talk to you, I'm present. Even being transmitted across the internet, all the way from Cambodia, there's a sense that I'm present. Even if this was a recording, my voice. Whereas writing, not so much. You know, if I wasn't here and the words I'm now saying were just coming up on the screen, you know, the words I'm now saying were coming up, there'd be a real sense of me not being present. And yet that doesn't stand up to even the most superficial analysis, because as soon as you gently scrape the surface, both speaking and writing follow some very basic principles that they both have in common. And that's where I would like to be going. That's the linguistic lane I'd like to have a little walk with Gog, and I'm going to call him Goggy. Hello, Goggy. Scorry says speech is more natural. Not really. Again, we have to talk about writing in the general sense, not just what we know as words. Because, you know, when you're following someone's footprints, when you're following a track, when there's a trace of a presence, and this is why it all gets really exciting. Interesting that I should use the example of the footprint, young Scorry. How is your footprint? How is your foot? How is the foot that makes the print? I've just got to get some water. Sorry, people. Oh, didn't have to go far though. Didn't have to go far. Knox in Curie says, I thought it would be more because 99% of people can talk, but historically only the rich educated few could write. It really comes down to European metaphysical thinking and the idea that philosophy and metaphysics has privileged the concept of speaking because it's present, rather than an economic factor, and in a sociological sort of setting like that, it's more to do with the philosophical thing. Even if only one person in the world could speak and one person in the world could write, and everyone else had gone, philosophy would privilege the person speaking in terms of presence. Anyway, it's a good point, though. Maybe we'll mention that. There you go. Marzipan makes a great point. Socrates never wrote anything down. No, he didn't. Socrates also... Socrates described handwriting, as the dangerous supplement. His words, well, he didn't say it in English, but he described writing as the dangerous supplement to speaking, in as much as it threatened speech and it threatens presence. And of course, the interesting thing is his star pupil Plato wrote everything Socrates said down so that we know it today. So nice one, Plato. Bing. Right, hello Sherlock gameplay. Let's get this grift on. Let's get the grift on. But it was a good chat. I thought it wasn't a chat really. I think Semiagog was outlining some semiotic ideas. I think he's got a very, very, very interesting angle in terms of semiotics and nationalism. I think he didn't time himself to get that stuff in. So that's also somewhere I'd like to go with him. When he started talking about location and habitat and marks that you make in your area, and he was talking about, like, you know, animals sniffing around their space and knowing who else has been in their space, and that sort of language of signs that goes on with what is essentially the building blocks of ancestry. You know, taking a piss up against a tree is in many ways the start of ancestry. It might sound a bit rough at the moment, but you know, interesting. Right, okay, let's get this grift on. Saturday afternoon, people. How lovely. It was Saturday night for me. It'll be Sunday in about 40 minutes, but I'm all right with that. I'm going to kick back. I'm going to watch The Remains of the Day. I can't remember who recommended The Remains of the Day, but I'm definitely going to watch that. I've wasted a lot of time this afternoon, happily wasted, looking at watches. Looking at watches and discussing stuff on my expat forum, which has been quite interesting. And there's some things I want to talk to you about. Some things I want to talk to you about. All right there, people. You can support this channel using the super chat, which is the $ down in that corner. If you want to do that, but you don't want to use the super chat, you can use not that link. That'll take you back to this video. You can use the entropy link. There's the entropy link. It will be quite handy if a few people throw a few quid at the stream. I'm more than happy to sacrifice 4 hours a day out of my working day, as long as I get somewhat compensated, and it's been working out quite nicely for everyone. So peace. Hang on. Oh god, where is it? There you go. There's the link. Hang on a minute. Mortuary Artist, did you watch Remains of the Day yesterday? I haven't seen it. Is it any good? Any good? Marzipan asked me what Pilgrim did I watch. There's a good Brendan Fairclough one just dropped recently. Me and Pilgrim have been talking, Marzipan. Oh, I'll just drop that in. Oh, yeah, exchanging comments. Oh, times thrice. It's worth a watch, is it? All right, I'll give it a go. I will give that a go. Any blokes seen it, I can ask? No, nice one, Mortuary Artist. I'll give it a go. Any geezers seen Remains of the Day? Rowdy Rascal. Oh, all right, nice one. Hello, Candy. Hello, Packer. Hang on, is Mr. and Mrs. Me in it on the firm? John B is giving Oppo. I've got to go and get some new batteries. John B's rating young Oppo. Excuse me, people. Not nice, I know. Not very professional. But if you keep your eyes out, you might see the ghosts, the Dangerfield Towers, who wanders around at night, doing nothing out back, certainly not tidying up, stealing hats. If you see my hat floating around while I'm away, where the good Lord is it? I wonder what I've done with it. How'd you lose a bloody fur hat? Honestly, the place is like obsessively. Didn't expect him to be looking at me from over there. Hello, this is the close-up part of the stream. 7 Bond from Stephen Sawyer. He's still there. We've got to do the whole stream from here now. Stephen Campbell, thanks for 7 Bond. He says this: happy to see the spread of scrubdom. Not only did I find a scrub an hour from me in rural USA, wow, but the scrub camaraderie in millennial chat is great. I see it myself. I don't say too much because then someone's going to go, you fuck dogs. But I do see it. I do see it, people. I see a bit of Sub Ronnie. I see a bit of Scrubs on tour. And as you can imagine, it brings a smile to my face a hell of a lot. Catalin Mohai has decided to come in, and his or her opening gambit is Viva Magyarország. Viva Magyarország. I don't know what it means, but you know. Oh, there's that one. Maryfa. Hello, Maryfa. Nice to see you, Maryfa. Chris, could you put in your entropy? Yeah. Someone else just put in my entropy. Ah, Bastard. Hey, Bastard, I did play your Leave It to the Kid, Leave It to the Kid, Leave It to the Kid. That got played. The Bastard says this: speaking of reading and speaking of reading and writing, the powers that be shat themselves when Gutenberg fired up his printing press. Yeah, that'll happen. That will certainly happen. Nice one, Bastard. The printing press has, without doubt, been of historical significance. Mary doesn't understand. You're all right, Mary. Welcome. Welcome. It's a lot of talking here, so if your English isn't too good, you might not understand a lot. But you know, nice to see you. Hope you're all right. Tech Roach. Are we a faction of the right wing at this point? The Scrubs crew. Oh, good Lord. I'm always getting in trouble for being part of a movement. And I'm like, what? Hang on. Where did I sign? What group have I invaded that I shouldn't be part of? It's really weird. Agistar. Agistar has given me $25 and says, Merry Christmas, Chris and all the Scrubs. There you go. That's from Agistar. Agistar. It's still quite something. Thank you very much, Agistar. 25 quid's lovely. And that's Happy Christmas to me and all the Scrubs. How nice. There you go, Rusky. That's the attitude we need to take. We could learn Mexican. It didn't take us. I think we'll do it next week. Well, I think that I think we're an interesting part of the dissident right. I think we are. I think most of us are kind of along with me that I've got no hate for anyone. There's no groups that I hate. I think I like to think we're the down-to-earth, friendly, honest end of a people that just feel like we are, and any nation and any nationals should have their own ancestral homeland, of which they are the huge majority. That's my thoughts on the subject, as I've made clear and clear again. Speaking of which, that Zubida, she's coming on. I said I'll talk to her. I think it's important that we talk to her, or that I talk to her, and we be nice to her as well. Hello, Urba Derba. Speaking a little bit of the old Mexicano. See, you were right, Rusky. Look how easily it's taken on. John B has pointed out that the Scrub set a stone as incredible linguage as it. Linguistic powers. Yes, absolutely. What, Tyler? Merry Yule to you, Agistar. Agistar, shocking. Oh, hello, Al. Al, I've got a little like a little plastic toy Christmas tree like that one that you've just put in there, and I'm gonna get some batteries for it and put it in my hat if I ever find it again for my Christmas Day stream. Little Bullet says, I think it's safe to say the scrubs are not the left. No, for sure. And look, you know what? This is what I wanted to talk about on here today. And I've been trying to... Hello, Ted. Hello, mate. How are you? You know, I think it's fair to say that we are very far right. I mean, you just have... It's just not worth giving them that power. It's like, oi, it's Cecil, ba-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-ba. Can we have a C in the chat for Cecil? Ba-ba-da-ba, 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 ba-ba-da-ba. You like to party? That's quite incredible. There you go, Cecil. Look, everyone's dropped a C in the chat to see you. C for Cecil. Tony's giving you 4. Scrub Queen. A spiritual figure of scrubs everywhere. Yeah, John, people were saying you were a bit sick yesterday, Cecil. How are you feeling? But what I wanted to say, people, all jokes and other madness aside, do you... Well, that's... Clark's has dropped a cockle into entropy, which is lovely. And he says, we're so far right, we're mandom. Do-do-do-do. 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 So check this out. Talking about people giving me an earful, and I don't like to go on about it, but check this out. Chris Patriotic Talk was telling me that someone in one of Woze's streams said something like, Mark told Dangerfield to delete all his videos or he can't be anything to do with PA. I mean, not that I'm not anything to do with PA anyway. I think what they're doing is good, but I'm not like a member or anything. I've never spoken or been to any of their events. What? Yeah, Mark told him to delete all his videos, and he did. Oh, that's a really weird way of trying to get at PA and me, and failing on both. Where do people get this kind of stuff from? Absolutely bizarre. I mean, I like to think that I know things before I say them. You know, you make the odd mistake here and there, but what a it's quite a specific thing to get wrong, isn't it? Ava, hello, Ava. Oh no, Rusky, what are you gonna do? If you will go by what you read in the newspapers. Oh, hey, Wolfie, Tommy, do you remember Tommy? Came to the Chinese prescription with his missus. He was here this morning asking if there was any original scrubs from the in real life meetup. And I said it was me, you, him, of course, Tommy, and Dennis. And he said, what, Sweaty Dennis? But crazy, eh? Just the 4 of us. And come on, man, says Eunice. We choose truth over fact. Sorry, I forgot. Tech Roach is in a stonking good mood tonight. Ba-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-ba. Had a potential new client. Oh, Tech Roach, that's exactly what it's all about. Make it happen. Get out there, make it happen, son. I wish you all the good blessings in the world that comes through. Nice one. Yeah, little Dennis came up as well. But yeah, quite wonderful. Listen, people, I want to say something to you that's very interesting. Very interesting. What's the M for? Oh, Moslab. He's been about. He was here. He's been in like the last few streams, but he's got a lot on. He was a bit sweaty. Yeah. Thank you. Not a problem, Cecil. Nice to see you. I want to just say something. You know what I've been stressing lately? Lately, I've been stressing that England or Great Britain is still, by a long chalk, one of the best places in the world to live. It is still one of the best places in the world to live. It's still one of the best places in the world to make money, right? It's, to create revenue streams, which you all need to do. But you know what? I've been trying to make that point, but there's something else you've got to think about. There's something I never in my life did I think I'd see Cecil Pangandahan speaking to Agista. I mean, when these things come around like that, there's something else I want to talk to you about. We basically sold our manufacturing to China, right? We all know this. And people have said it. Oh, Ava, steady. Well, Pete, this is the funny thing. This is what's crazy, I think, about the PA plan, our plan. Read their plan to anyone, regardless of their politics. Most people will go, yeah, that sounds like a sensible, set of ideas for running a nation. Yeah. It's only, and here's how we get back to semiagog semiotics. It's only when people tell you what that means, when they tell you what that sort of thing means. Oh, it's not enough to be able to read the ideas and interpret it for yourself. No, that's not enough. You've got to have someone else tell you. And that's what Roland Barthes was talking about when he was talking about mythologies. Because mythology is the third level of semiotics. Semiotics is signifier, then the signified, so language object, then what it means. But then Barthes adds to that, then mythology. Then the cultural predetermined explanation of that meaning. So all gets very interesting. You what bloody time? Oh, actually, Alan. Hang on 1 second, mate. 1 second. 1 second. You've given me the perfect excuse. Alan. What bloody time do you call that? Let me just have a look at my Rolex. Oh, good Lord, you're late on my Rolex. I'll just lean over here and get something. Hang on, I'll just lean over here and get something. Hang on, I'm just doing something. I'm not letting that focus or anything. There you go. Oh, found it. Thank you very much, Alan. Obviously, no need to apologise for being late. Thank you for that donation. When you dance sweat on the ceiling. Yeah, everything else is upside down, isn't it? That's exactly it. I can't believe Red Ball syndrome's back on the firm. But yeah, that's me. That's my Rolex that needs repairing. I might just have to sell it because they're not happy about the radium that it's got in it. So keep that away. Thank you, Alan. Much appreciato. Wonderful. Very kind of you. Very kind of Alan, Clarks, Agista, Alan Bastard, and Stephen Campbell. All very, very kind on this wonderful Saturday. But I wanted to speak on, it is vintage, 1959. 1959. Manny Moves says, I'm risking wrist cancer to prove a point. Yeah, really was. Well, they said it was all right to wear. Alan has 5 Invictas. I don't know what an Invicta is. Thank you for the donation. What's an Invicta? Get yourself a Plop 7. I'm going to get the T-shirt done. It's pronounced Plo 7 or Plosept. I think it was the best one. Plosept. I think people have sent me a couple of designs for that. We'll have a look at them later. But thank you, Alan. So I was given that watch for, by someone who run a rehab centre, and I was given it for completing the rehab. That's why I've got a vintage Rolex. Hello, Ruthie. Red Ball Syndrome says, drop the entropy link. I've got a Christmas prezi for you. Oh, what's it going to be? It's not Red Sack Syndrome, is it? It's not the old leathery nads again. Nice one, little bullet. Oh, he says it's pronounced Plu Sevon. Plu, not Plo. We're never going to get this, are we? Thank you, little bullet. Plo. Leon Squared, breaking news. Dangerfield. Boris has just ordered us to stop home. Literally locked us in our homes. Really? Absolutely ridiculous. Marzipan telling us about the Plu 7. The design has to be crap or it's not an authentic replica. Yeah, with the Plu 7, it's the original, of which there are none. It's the original simulation, because there's no such thing as original. There's only ever been copies. Do you know what I mean? There's no. If someone says it's an original Plu 7, a Plu Sept or whatever, you're like, well, nah, man, that's not real. There's only ever been copies. Yeah, this is the ultimate postmodern timepiece. Mouse Cat's doing the off. Right, I'm going out now. Oh, what, just to piss off Boris? Shouldn't you be outside smashing things or something, thanking Boris for locking you in your house? Vegan dog confirms the situation. Says in London it's full lockdown, only the 25th to visit family. Wow. I mean, judging by the amounts of deaths I've seen, seems to be going all right. They seem to be handling this really well. Cecil Pangdahangden is saying advanced Merry Christmas to all of us. Cecil Pangdahangden, I would have thought you would have been a Buddhist. I mean, you're still more than welcome to say Merry Christmas, of course. Will Martin wants people to lock down his arse. You got a touch of the runs there. Got a touch of the rear. Got a touch of the Chris rear. Mr. Thompson sitting back smugly with a belly full of, let me think, haddock and boiled potatoes with some green beans. How did I get? How near did I get? Haddock, boiled potatoes, green beans. Let me know, Tommy boy. Ed from Queens is on the firm. Hello, Chris and Cecil Panda. There you go. Ragnar is quick to point out we actually have the lowest cases of Kung Flu. Not sure if they're lower than Cambodia. But there you go. Steady, Lionel. I saw that. I can see that, what you've done there. ABC Gold on the beef stew with dumplings. Oh, send me some. But like hot and ready to eat in about an hour. DT, no. Oh, Dave, you let yourself down as well as the rest of England. Good call, though, but it was amazing. Hello, Jess. Hello, Johnny Reb. Poor old Johnny Reb. Cecil, you are our spiritual leader. It's always lovely to see you. So listen, I've got to get this point out because it's interesting. All that we basically let all our manufacturing go to China, right? We let it go to China. But people talk about that like that's it now. Well, all the manufacturing's gone to China, isn't it? You know, well, we used to get things like that made in England, right? And all that. We've all heard that. I am telling you now that manufacturing is coming back to England because people are sick of the last 10 years of rubbish, terrible quality kit. Now, not everything, because some things you don't need high quality. But a lot of stuff is coming back. You know, there are certain things that we used to go to China and India for because the labor was cheap, the products were cheap, but the quality of the work was cheap as well. And like I've told you, and don't worry, I will leave this to one line. I will leave this next bit to one line, right? I know I've said about shoes and clothes. That's it. But not only that, loads of other manufacturing is coming back. It's coming back to England. And we're looking at a more local and a more well, local as in national, but also local as in community. Lil Bullet, turkey and cranberry sandwiches tonight. That's a strange thing to have a few days before Christmas. Are you trying to get sick of them in advance? JG52, I said it was quick and then I stopped it. But I'm telling you, lots of different things are coming back. Not just to England, but to Europe, especially crafts, especially decent things like, you know, leather goods, for instance, you know, and I just know this. Also wooden things that are made, nice craft-based things out of wood and all sorts of things. There he is. People called his name. They called his name and he appeared. Hello, Moslab. They were asking about you. And here he is. Jesse's having a pint of cider. So, you know, I tell you what, I've been using different manufacturing from all over the world, including England. And I am seeing changes in prices that I have not seen before. I am getting European suppliers offering Chinese. I'll tell you why I said Chinese. So I just read that. Yeah, that's another thing. Offering prices on manufacture of steel, steel and leather that is competing with Asia. Not because they're not because Europe is dropping their quality and dropping how much they're paying their staff, but because people don't want crap anymore. People aren't, you know, we all know it, but, you know, buy cheap, buy twice and all that sort of stuff. People are getting wise to this, and the older people are understanding this, and the younger people are thinking we're not going to make that mistake. I'm telling you, there's ropey manufacturing techniques, people not giving a shit about the work they're doing, people not understanding the products they're making, all sorts of stuff, bad prototyping. There's so many different things that are going wrong that can actually be done better by Europeans. And this idea that all the manufacturing's gone to Asia, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't an accident. It didn't just overnight. Governments were involved in this. They thought, well, how can we get whoosh? But as I've said many times, that arrow of history isn't so simple. Well, all the manufacturing's gone to Asia now. Well, I can tell you that a hell of a lot of it is coming back, and it's very interesting. And also people are asking. People are starting to say, where was that made? Where were those products sourced? And things like that. One of the really interesting things Trump did that people don't realize, Trump made it so that anything from China has to have a big sticker on it, made in China. And that makes a difference because companies start thinking, I don't know about that. They start changing it. Well, Roy, you're coming at it from the wrong end. They're not matching their prices. They're improving on the quality. And so, yes, it is slightly more expensive, but something that's slightly more expensive might last 3 times as long. Something that's more expensive might actually do the job it was made for. Something slightly more expensive might actually be better. Something more expensive might actually appeal to a growing nationalism where people are starting to realize they want to buy British. This is what I'm saying. It's not a question of competing. It's not a question of competing with the prices. It's a question of a different mindset around producing and consuming. And I promise you, it's happening. Yeah, well, yeah. Once you actually get to see how big it is. Well, Roy, sometimes they are. Sometimes they are, and they really are, and they're managing to do that by modern manufacturing process, because it's got to the point now where that, you know, it's much like those super clone watches. How come suddenly 4 blokes in a room with an investment of 10 grand can knock out watches the same quality as Rolex? Well, because the manufacturing process has become so simplified. You know, things like 3D printing, etc., and all other things like that. So sometimes it is price matching, but not always. There are many other things going on at the same time. But fair point. I did also say that. It's a fair point. So we've got some very, very interesting things. Yeah, people used to think that made in Taiwan was a joke, but I'll tell you what now. As far as manufacturing goes, Taiwan is considered far superior to China. Nice one, Little Bullet. Appreciated. Yep, absolutely. It was part of that. Yeah, for sure. It's great stuff as well. And that, yeah, brilliant. And this is the other aspect. Because when you get a nation like China that suddenly sees the kind of sort of industrial boom that you've seen over the last 20, 30 years, well, then you start getting the new Chinese middle class. Then you start getting aspirational working class. And then there's more work going. There's more work available. And then so people, all of a sudden, they're not prepared to work 19-hour days because they don't need to, because there's more work over here. There's more work over here. And so there's problems over with their economy. And so all these things, my point being, again, it's not as simple as saying manufacturing, it all got sold out to China, because things change, things are happening. And I know from actually being in that game that a lot of manufacturing is coming back to specifically the UK, but Europe in general. You know, I was looking at I went to India and China for some leather work, and I ended up in Lithuania. Wouldn't have done that 10 years ago, I can assure you. So another good thing, you know, it's just, I just don't want us to always look at the negative. I don't want us to always look at black pills, because if you look at the stuff that's going wrong, you think it's all going wrong, and that just is not the case. And we need to keep focus on the good things, because that keeps us optimistic. That keeps us hopeful. And optimism and hope, as I read you before from that article from Psychology Today, can actually cause you to win, can actually keep you strong. Ed from Queens, China junk. They have the supply chain now where their machines break. When their machines break, they have all the parts available. We do not. Not strictly true, because nowadays the machines that make when machines make the small metal parts, when the machines break, another machine, you can make them. It's crazy to say that. I don't know where you're getting that from. I don't know what point you've made there. I'm telling you, fact, a lot of manufacturing is coming back to Europe. They just are. And then also, here's the other thing you've got. Thank you for the donation, Ed, but I'm going to need a bit more evidence than that. On top of that, you've got to pay to ship that stuff over. You've got to pay. When it's manufactured in England, you haven't got that air freight or that sea freight. Sea freight's all right as long as you don't mind waiting 7 weeks. And if you're a startup, you can't wait 7 weeks. You got to plan that far ahead. It's just ridiculous. So you're having to do it air freight, and air freight is really expensive. So you've got to whack a few $100 on every let's say 50 units, depending on what you're making. There's loads of good things going on. It's not darkness out there. Pangahandahan saw Agista in the live stream. We were all there, Cecil. It was a great time. The unofficial drink of this stream, the old Pocari Sweat, lovely jubbly. Hello, Willow Wookie. Bloody lovely. Willow Wookie says there's a Reddit page called Chinesium. It's like a new metal that snaps, where they show substandard goods breaking. I mean, there's just so many things to consider here. There's the cost. Look at prototyping. You've got to communicate with these people. You've got to go over there. You've got to visit frequently. You've got to visit them. Then they've got to send it back. Then you've got to send it back. Then you've got to send it back. Then when it's done, you've got to do this. Then you've got to sort out packaging. Then you've got to get the packaging sent to China for them to pack the goods so they can send it in the packaging. The packaging in China is an absolute mess. You've got to get that done in Europe or America. Then, no, send me a video, Ed. I'm up for it for sure, 100%. Always up for people not agreeing, but I don't think that's quite... My experience in the game says otherwise. So there's just things working in our favour. My point being, if you're there, nice one, Benyu. My point being, if you're in England now, if you're in Britain now, and you're averagely young, like anything under 40, and you haven't got your future carved out for you as such, start making it happen. You know, you're sitting in a world of potential. Why do you think everyone's trying to get there? And you are English, and you speak English, and you can just get on it. You can get on it and get busy and make things happen. You know, and look, the more successful English people are, the more successful England is. And the more successful indigenous English people are, the better the nation becomes for indigenous English people. You know, do you understand that? I mean, it is overtly nationalist. It is overtly political for indigenous English people to do well financially. And I just, you know, my worry is that, young people, especially young people on the dissident right, are getting so black-pilled, they're thinking, well, you know, there's no real point doing anything because, you know, it's all gone to shit. When really, they should be doing the opposite. They should be getting off their asses and generating revenue. They should be getting off their asses and generating wealth and making themselves, their families and their communities more resilient to change that they don't want, and more powerful and more part of change they do want. It's really important. Nice one. Thank you for that. I get the impression a lot of people ain't up for it. It's funny you say that, actually, Ralph. Years ago, I tried to set up a business doing bamboo scaffolding in England. I looked right into it. Because moving the stuff around is cost a fraction of the price. Shoving the stuff up is done twice as quick. It's just got so many benefits. But you can't get past that health and safety. You just cannot. I nearly had it down for like small gigs, like putting windows in and all that. But then suddenly the arse fell out of the idea. Because if you could set up a business where we even looked at nylon. Once I realised I wasn't going to get away with bamboo, we started looking at nylon scaffolding, and if you could prove it was as strong as metal and all this, but yeah, I'll tell you what, Ralph, I still think there's something there. I still think someone will work out how to replace steel scaffolding with, if not bamboo or something, some kind of nylon. And just think of the amount of money wasted driving scaffolding trucks around. Just in petrol because of the weight. If you could turn that all into some lightweight nylon, and imagine putting it up, you'll be throwing that stuff up. It wouldn't be like all that. It's heavy old gear scaffolding. You ever seen scaffolders? They've got shoulders like Fatima whitbread. But yeah, couldn't get through it. Couldn't get that through the health and safety. Alan, Sheffield, England's make the best scissors in the world. My mum got my mum a pair. There's a beautiful documentary about a man who makes scissors in Sheffield on YouTube. Let's watch a bit of it. You're right, it's fantastic, because I'm obviously into scissors, because tailors need a proper pair of tailor's scissors is going to cost you about 150 quid. Just glides through fabric. Absolutely glides through it. Moslab, let me introduce you to Cecil Pangahandahan blog Q8. Moslab. She's our new spiritual leader. We raided her stream yesterday. I'll ping it all in an email, Moslab. I'll let you know. But she's not spam woman. She's not spam woman. She's not spam woman. Right, okay, yeah, I'll fill you in. She's not spam woman though. Right, okay. Let me see if I can find this. Just the end of this documentary. Hang on. Right, we don't want to have a look at a really long one. I think it might be this one. Hang on, people. It's worth watching, actually. It's really sweet. It's especially lovely to see a bit of English engineering as well. Hang on. Would appear not to be that one. Might be this one. It would appear not to be that one. Hang on. Sorry, people. Talk amongst yourself. Yourself, singular. Not that one either. This is getting a bit annoying. We already had a look at that one. I'll tell you what. Well, ignore the one I'm looking for. It would appear I found another one. Let me just see. Because it's lovely process watching them making scissors. Oh, this is the one. Yeah, we'll take it from about here. Because it's the finishing process. Really lovely. So, are you up for this, people? 2.5 minutes. Hello, Chris. Right, here. We're going to have a look at them making some scissors. And this is an example of what I mean. If you're a tailor and you're cutting cloth and that cloth is costing $200 a meter, you can't. Cecil, my dear, Cecil, last time first come here, I feel hurt because someone telling me spam. The thing is, last time, first time, he wasn't here. Just relax, Cecil Pangahangahan. You're fine. The lad in question is our hero. And if it comes down to the two of you, but just relax, love. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. Right. Red Bull syndrome. Check your intro. It hasn't gone boo. And let me refresh it. But it will go boo when it comes through. And as yet, it hasn't. And let me refresh it. Hang on. It'll... No, apparently nothing just yet. Oh, hang on. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, you know what happens when that happens? It gets a full screen preview. I bet you were bricking it when I said nothing's happened, but that gets a screen view. Oh my God. How bloody kind of you. Okay, everyone. So Red Bull syndrome. Just give me a donation on Entropy. Let's have a look at this. Hang on. Put that over there. Put that there. Put that there. Red Bull syndrome. Give me 100 English. Thank you, Red Bull syndrome. It's the best Red Bull syndrome I've ever had. And he says, Merry Christmas, Chris. I've been lurking in the chat for the past few months. Just wanted to thank you again for everything you do for our community. Honestly, I've been down the past few months and you've really helped me with your streams. I'm in the process of starting an e-commerce business and I've invested in gold, Bitcoin, silver and an ISA. One in the chat for danger. Oi, absolutely incredible. Look at that. You've got your ISA sorted. You've spread your investments across crypto, gold and silver. And you've got an e-commerce business on the go. Bloody brilliant. Well, listen, I can't thank you enough for that absolutely whopping donation. Thank you. But look what you've just done. Now, if you need any help, I can't help you with the investments. They're risks. That will go up and down. Leave the gold and silver and the Bitcoin. Just forget about them. And the ISA, actually. Just tuck those away. But if you need any help with the e-commerce stuff, of course you can speak to me and I can help you. 100% I can help you. But the rest of it, just put it away. You'll go back there 5 or 10 years. But that's really good news. You've been down and you've got off your ass and you've made shit happen. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And thank you for that donation. Thank you very much. Incredible. I'm chuffed as fuck for getting a 1, of course. But I'm also very impressed with what you said at the end of that. At the end of it, that's the more amazing bit. Nice one, Willow. There is a handmade watchmaker in the Isle of Man, Robert W. Smith. I spoke to him about my Rolex, and they said they won't go near it because of the radium. I don't know if that's why you were telling me, but they won't go near it. It's finished. It's over. I'll sell it for parts. I'll probably get about 400 quid for it, which is a shame. It was a gift, Thank you, Willow, for that $5. Much appreciated, mate. Red Bull syndrome. I'm always watching you, mate. Oh, God. Steady. Just been lurking for a while. You're all right. You know my email, chris@chrisdangerfield.com. Anything Shopify, I can help you. Really. Nice one, man. Good luck with all of that. And well done for spreading your bets. That's cheered me up as well. How lovely. Tech Roach is saying I should sell the radium. What, just take the glass off the watch, scratch it off, like get right down close to it and just sort of Just, just right. Let's have a look at some quality British manufacture. This is quite lovely, and this is the sort of thing I'm talking about. You want to buy your tailor's scissors in China, you're going to buy 10 pairs because every few weeks they're blunt as you like. Buy them once from a quality manufacturer in England. Lovely. These are Ernest Wright scissors. They're the ones all the tailors in Soho use. Here we go. Only a couple of minutes, people. So if it's not up your Strasse, it's only a couple of minutes. And it's a Saturday afternoon. Who wouldn't want to watch an old man getting his craft out? Let me know I've got the sound sorted.
Embroidery stalks over 2 weeks to a month. However, if we were doing same size batch, 500 13-inch scissors, then we probably wouldn't even see that within a year.
The blades are polished by hand to a mirror finish. Then comes the hardest part, putting together. Traditionally, you would undertake a 5-year apprenticeship before you could even sit at the putter's table.
I never had a background like this before. I went straight into an office right out of university, and I was walking down this street and I saw a chalkboard that said scissor makers wanted. And I thought, I've always wanted to work with my hands, but I've had no training in working with my hands. My training began 8 months ago, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop for at least another few years.
And despite the intricacy, the most important tool isn't anything small and delicate, but a hammer.
And I'm only going to get a tap.
The hammer is crucial to aligning the blades correctly.
So, oh, that's better.
The 2 scissor parts are screwed into place, and then a perfect curve is hammered onto each blade. This part of the process is the hardest to get right, and also the hardest skill to pass on.
If he hits that with the wrong tension or at the wrong angle or in the wrong spot, he will ruin those scissors. So I've put a scissor blade down and I've taken a swing at it, and I have just snapped the blade in half.
Once the 2 halves are married together, a final blade will be put on the scissor.
Well, I started in 1959. Roughly the same. Steady, hammers. Other than we had lights hanging over to get more light. You'll learn, you'll never forget. It's up here in a diary. Somebody said, say a scissor, and it just comes up on a projection in my head. Manicure, dissecting, thread clip, all different scissors.
Sheffield has been home to England's blade making industry since as far back as the 14th century. It's where stainless steel was originally invented, and it's a city that's famed for its cutlery production. Cliff started making scissors when he was just 15.
When I pick a pair of scissors up, it tells me a story. I cannot really shut it, it's tight. It's like, you can virtually just shove it away to your finger and it does the job. That's what you're after. Week after week, year after year if need be. That's it.
Bloody lovely. See the old geezer there, been doing it for like 50, 60 years. He's got the little lad there doing the apprenticeship. Sarah said she had a pair of them. How much do they cost you, Sarah? A couple of £100? And you can't get away. Sarah's in upholstery. Sarah's got her own upholstery gig. And if you've got a crappy pair of scissors, you're going to be doing 3 times the work. You're going to be screwing up very expensive cloth. And this is what I'm saying about about manufacturing going to Asia. We're all getting a bit sick of it. We're getting a bit sick of the poor quality. And so it's coming back. And now businesses are setting up, startups and even older businesses. They're like, can we stop buying those jank scissors? Because it's costing us more money in the long run. Put an order in with that English company. Yes, we'll pay 3, 4, 5, 6 times as much for them, but the work gets done better. The work gets done quicker, and we're not messing up fabric. And this is happening, and it's happening everywhere. And I know because I'm in this game. And I used to go to English companies, and they'd charge me through the roof. And I'm now being contacted, cold called, with new prices. And it's because the technology is changing. And these are the sorts of things we need to support, and we need to be not just support in terms of getting involved financially and in terms of business, but just in our sense of pride about our nation. You know, we have to stop thinking that it's all gone down the pan. England, Great Britain, America, these are still incredible places where incredible things are happening, where we can make really, really good lives for ourselves. And the better the lives we make for ourselves, the better our revenue streams, the better our crafts, our business, our investments, the stronger we are as a people. And the stronger we are as a people, the weaker other people are. It's nationalist, it's natural, it's good for you, and it's good for us. I just want to make that clear. I think I got a super chat. Sorry, people. Let me just deal with that. Yeah, look, Sarah, got some. Amazing. Moz Lab's got that. I'm going to ping you an email, Mr. Mosaic Labrador, about that. Sorry, people. I think I got a vert. There you go. I did get a vert. Willow Wookie. Robert W. Smith's watches are 150 grand. That if you I thought you were telling me as an example of someone who might fix my watch. He just makes them from scratch. 150 grand. Wow. You don't think he wants to fix my radioactive watch, no? Well, worth a try. Thank you, Willow. I got all that a bit confused, didn't I? Excuse me. There you go. Look at this. Hello. Oh no, YouTube writing me. Hello, TS. Thanks for that, lady. If you're drinking this Christmas, buy from your local shops and your small shops. Yeah, great idea. Support your local offie. Don't go down to Tesco's and do their 2-for-1s where you end up with a load of stuff you're never going to drink. Chernobyl watch. Hello, mate. I got a Rolex. What is it? Oh, it's a Rolex Chernobyl. No, Pete. I think that's the geezer I wrote to. The watch guy on YouTube. Yeah, he's the one who said, "Nah, people won't go near it." And it's sad for me because it was a gift, and I'm going to have to just offload it for spares. And you know, I was absolutely gutted. It meant a lot to me. Can you believe someone gave me the gift of death? There you go. This is the kind of things we need to know. Thank you, TS. I appreciate that. There you go. Yeah, and if you can, you know, get down those farmers markets for you. It's a bit late for Christmas now, but get down your farmers markets for your fruit and vegetables. Lovely. This is what we need to be doing. This is what the future's all about. Well, I don't know if that's who the geezer I done was. I found the YouTuber and he was called something like the watch man or something. The watch guy. I don't know. Moody Edge says, "Give it to someone you don't like." Yeah, the problem is I'm starting to think that might have been what's already happened once. TS says the coof has not dampened your sports, mate. Love it. Perhaps you meant spirits. No, well, TS, I'm living in Cambodia, so it hasn't really happened out here. If you didn't know that, I apologize. But you get one life. You get one life. And I know there's a lot of terrible things happening. There's a lot of very bad things happening that we don't want to happen. But that doesn't mean you can't fight. That doesn't mean you can't live your one life to the best of your ability. And that doesn't mean that in the way you live your life won't make other people pick up their ears and prick up their ears and start getting busy. And then we can all start helping each other and building communities. And when you build communities, you strengthen your nation. And when you have strong communities and strong nations, you're not so vulnerable to people coming in and trying to take resources from you, because that's all it's ever been about. The history of the world is a history of fighting for resources. And that's what we're doing now. But if you're an English person in England, or a Scottish person in Scotland, or a Welsh person in Wales, or a Northern Irish in Ireland, you are still in one of the best positions in the world to make your life fantastic, while at the same time making your community and your nation stronger. You know, we're not losing. We are winning. It's already happening. The globalist machine of all its money and all its organization, all its hatred hasn't come close. Hasn't come close. There's so much to fight for. And the other part is you ain't got a choice. If you're going to let them beat you now, well, just sit down and spend your life crying, because the option is to get busy and spend your life winning. Coolio said, the watch doesn't glow. You do, wearing it. In fairness, the watchmaker I contacted said, because when he told me no one will repair it because of the radium, I wrote back to him and said, what the fuck? That's been my watch for the last 10 years. And in fairness, he said, you'll be all right wearing it from time to time. He said, but people just don't want to open them up and start scratching around with that stuff. And I did see a bloke on YouTube actually clean the radium, excuse me, off of a watch. And it was a proper involved process with loads of really, you know, it was obviously protecting himself. And I watched it and I thought, yeah, that's going to cost a bag of sand at least for someone, you know, a professional watch repairer to go through that kind of palaver to get to repair my watch. So I think it ain't going to happen. Westo wins the my watch joke. My watch is ticking too fast. No, that's the Geiger counter. That's excellent and painful as hell at the same time. Survivor says, play the track Shit Luck by Modest Mouse. Unfortunately, I don't take requests because it rarely goes down very well. Historically, when I play requests, there's a bit of a jolt in the tone of the stream. So that's a long way of saying no. Nora says, I don't think PA is ever going to get elected to Parliament. How strange of you to think something negative. I mean, when I saw you post something, Nora, I thought it was just going to be just an explosion of optimism and hope. Okay, but that's literally just a feeling you've had, because there's, you know, why not? Why not? Did you see what Mark done with the BNP like 40 years ago? In a time when it was nowhere near like it is now. Pete says, my watch is 1965 and has loom on the dial. I don't know if it's got radium in the paint, but the repairer didn't seem worried. If it glows in the dark, chances are your repairer will be worried next in a few years. That's brilliant, Westo. Westo, you're so on form tonight. Westo says, Nora, you're missing the point. You're watching the chick hatch out of the egg and saying that thing will never fly. That's incredible. I mean, what they're actually doing as an organisation at the moment, and they're doing it. This isn't chat. They're setting up loads of local centres where they're building communities up and down the country where people are getting together and doing things, and they're all growing, and they keep growing, and then more set up, and they keep growing. Loads of stuff's happening. Alan says that Loom is okay. Ed from Queen says Patek Philippe. Those in the know will know. Yeah, very nice watches. Patek Philippe are lovely. I had an ex-girlfriend who had one. Not for me aesthetically, but beautifully made watches, without a doubt. Survivor says, according to Ralph, PA is having its application to the electoral registrar blocked by MI5. Well, I think it would be nigh on impossible to prove that, but there's something going on for sure. The BLM party, the Black Separatist Party, got their application stamped first time. Look, the progressive Tories and Labour, the elites are terrified of the rise in populism and nationalism all over Europe, and they know it's happening in England. They're all over PA. It's already getting dissed in all the press, of course, like it has to. They're getting so desperate. They're using people like me in the Times. You know, they're terrified of it. But it will not matter. It will not matter once all those little communities are built up. You know, things can happen. Sea of Noise says nationalists are racists, though. Well, I'm a nationalist. I'm not racist. I've got a Cambodian girlfriend. Am I one of those racists who likes other races? Explain yourself, Sea of Noise. You're allowed to say that here. You can have that opinion. You're fine. You're not going to get banned or anything. But what makes you say that? Because there's 224 people here. I'd guess that about 220 of them are nationalists. And I'd guess that out of that 220, about 218 aren't racist. So you could say some nationalists are racist, and I'd probably agree. I would agree with you. But some isn't the same as all. Slipe is an incredible name. Says PA has about 15,000 members. They've done this during this lockdown and restrictions crap in 1 year. Listen, as someone who's involved in marketing, what they have done to establish their brand, which is essentially what it is, in 1 year on their next to nothing budget is nothing short of a miracle. You know, to have been written about in 4 or 5 major newspapers and websites is incredible. It's mind-blowing. 1 year. I used to say what they've done in the last 3 years is amazing, and then I remembered, hang on, this ain't 3 years. It's 1 year. Mind-blowing. Dangerfield, you missed RBS entropy. It hasn't come in. Oh, hang on. Red Ball Syndrome sent another bloody entropy. It's a long one, so I'll put it on the screen. Hang on. RBS, Royal Bank of Scotland. What do they want with me? Hang on. Good call, Moslab. I think I missed a couple of other messages too. Hang on. Hold your horses, people. Hold your horses, people. It's going to take time. Hold your horses, people. It's going to be fine. Hold your horses, people. I'll get RBS on the screen in a couple of minutes. I don't know why I decided to do that in the I don't know what I tried to do it in the style perhaps of a 1960s old Cockney knees up. Red Bull Syndrome drops another score, and he says the British (brackets Europeans) are known for their quality. It's built into our culture and our way of thinking. The globalists would rather you forget that. Exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. Think of all the quality products, from Rolex to the Renaissance to medicine to maths, all invented by Europeans and our ancestors. Exactly it. That is my point. That's why I showed the video about the scissors. You know, just the simple things. And people understanding that they've been buying stuff from Asia. Oh, look, I got this. It's only $1. I used to spend $20 on these things. But over the years, that stuff's been wearing us down. And now people are starting to say, we don't want this rubbish anymore. I'm going to go local. I'm going to buy some quality gear because it's going to last. The generation of Zoomers that are coming up, they've seen their parents on Amazon. Oh, look at this, love. Look, you can get this nice little kitchen table, little front room coffee table here. It's only 30 quid. Look, it's nice. Oh, yeah, we'll get that. Table arrives. Kid looks at mum and dad, absolutely gutted. Oh, it didn't look much like that in the photo. Oh, I suppose it'll be all right. Now it rocks a little bit. Hang on a minute. Snap. And they've seen that going on with their parents' entire lives. And so they're growing up thinking, I don't know about all this tut. I don't know about saving money and not getting anything I need. I don't know about wasting money on junk. I want to buy something that's going to last. I want to spend money on things that not only look good and are better, but will actually last. And that's exactly the point Red Bull Syndrome made. They're trying to take this out of our heads so we do settle for less, so that we forget our ancestry, so that we forget the quality we are known for. Oh, look at this, love. Oh, look, you can get a whole set of kitchen knives on eBay. Look, you've got a 4 steak knives. You've got a meat cleaver. You've got a nice bread knife. You've got a cut. Oh, look. Oh, $2.99. We'll get that. Gets home, tries cutting it. Clank, handle breaks. Oh, throw that one away. Meat cleaver. It ain't actually working. Well, tell the truth. It's blunt. Wouldn't cut wet butter. Wouldn't cut hot butter. Children have seen this. The new generation. Oh, should we buy a pack of knives on eBay? No, because when I move into my house, I want to buy a pack of knives for 200 quid and never have to think about buying knives again. And when they're blunt, I'll get them sharpened because they can handle it. That's the point I'm making. Great, well done. Thank you for the donation, Red Bull Syndrome. A nice one for absolutely nailing my point. Really good. There you go. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You know exactly what I'm talking about then. If you're a chef, you buy a decent set of knives. They'll last you for your career. You buy a crappy set of knives, they won't get you through one fucking lunchtime. AL Robot says, what's wrong with Anne Boleyn being black? Well, it depends whether you consider your history relevant or not, and how relevant a true reflection of what things were like are. I think you know that, Mr. AL Robot too. Raymond Piper says, I'm a nationalist, 100%, but I think Colette is a potential dictator and an ethnic cleanser in the making. There, I said it. Okay, I don't know what are you basing that on? I mean, you look, Raymond, you're a high-ranking scrub. You're allowed to say whatever you want here, but tell me why. But by the way, I would tell you, by the time PA are anywhere near Parliament, I doubt Mark will be doing much for them, and I think Mark will tell you that himself. Hello, Yiz. Yiz says, Dangerfield, excuse me, walk through London, Paris and Florence and tell me any other civilization of people could compare to the wonders our people have built. No, it doesn't come close. Exactly. And the point that Red Bull Syndrome was trying to make was, and you missed a little bit that's come before this year's, but they've all, as manufacturing has left Europe and gone to Asia, part of that is trying to train this idea out of us that we were once associated with quality manufacturing, that we were once associated with quality engineering, and they're trying to separate us from that part of our ancestry. Because if they do that, we'll put up with second-rate stuff from China. We'll put up with third-rate goods. But the more we get back in touch with our ancestry, the more we understand that we actually come from a history of very high quality goods, the more manufacturing will come back to our lands. Board Troll says, who's Colette? Mark Collette. He's the leader of Patriotic Alternative. Where's Raymond? Raymond, I need to know a bit more though. Why? I need to know why you think that. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. And you are, you without a doubt, you can say what you want. I don't think Mark needs to be an ethnic cleanser. He's been very clear about what he wants. Oh, natty. You can't mention PA around here without someone turning up who's on the firm. Look at that, big problems. Oh, good Lord, the foot soldiers are here. Hello, Natty. Yeah, it's probably not a word we should use too much around here, or I'll get in trouble. But Cecil seems to think I'm right. Nice one, Cecil. It's important, isn't it, Cecil? I mean, I'm sure it's important to you, your Filipino ancestry, that where you come from, your people, your family, your community, your history is important to you. And I don't know if you know, Cecil, but in Europe, we're kind of losing it. Who's just joined the firm? I know that picture. That would be young Edward, I think. Where's he gone? Or is everyone chatting loads? I can't see where it is. Ed's on the firm. Hello, Ed. Nice one, Ed. Tomorrow, people. Tomorrow, midday, and then 1 o'clock are the Scrubs, Explorers, and Heroes streams. You should get a notification. If you don't get a notification, check Telegram. If you're not on my Telegram and you don't get a notification, hang around my channel 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock and you should see it. It's for the Scrubs, Explorers, and the Scrubs, Heroes. They'll both be visible to everyone else afterwards, but it's not a stream like this. It's not me sitting there talking. It's Scrubs talking. It's and there's usually about 8 or 9 of us there, so that happens. Yeah, it seems like a bit of a leap to say that. I thought she was Filipino. Cecil, where are you from? I thought you were Filipino. She's Filipino, Illuminatus. Well, I thought she was. Vod, and vod. Oh shit, he's watching again. There's a geezer over there who sits out the back when he's no one in his shop. Alan, thank you, Alan. I used to buy cheap pocket knives. Won't own one now that cost less than $150. Got tired of buying new ones all the time. This is the point I'm making. Exactly that. We went there. We went there as a nation. All the manufacturing went out to Asia, and we went there. We were like, oh, look at this. Look, it's not quite a leather, man. But it sort of does. Oh fuck, that's broke. Well, yeah, but it sort of does. Oh no, this isn't any good. Yeah, but this bit's that's broken. Oh, I'll get another one. They can't be all that bad. No, I had one before, but they're only like 20 quid. But this bit don't work. Yeah. And then in the end, you go back to your one that's made in America or in England or, Germany or something. Exactly that, Alan. S. Grimm says, who was the Cambodian girl who lived in the USA that came to the stream a couple of days? I think you're thinking of Boon Boo, her name was. I think Illuminatus is confusing young Cecil Pangahandahan with Boon Boo or something like that, her name was. Urban says, great to see Chris supporting both Colette and Woes instead of taking sides. Look, we've got things to do. You're all right, Illuminatus. I forgot about Boon Boo too. Nice to see you, Urban. Mousecat says, don't buy from Alibaba. He had 40 thieves working for him. Go on, son. Go on, get up on that stage. You're wasted down here. Little bullet, you get what you pay for. There you go. That's how the market works. Markets regulate value. Of course you get what you pay for because markets regulate value. So when you get something cheap as shit, the operative word there is shit. Raymond, I would suggest this. Raymond says this, Chris, in every speech I've heard him make, his intolerance of anything which is not of his liking gets my back up. The only way to take anything back is inclusive politics. The only way to take anything back is inclusive politics. Now, I don't know what inclusive politics means. Listen, why don't you write to Mark Collette? Why don't you email him at mark@fallofwesternman.co.uk? Natty will confirm that. And tell him what your concerns are. He'll speak to you. Why don't you do that? And then if you come out of that conversation having spoken with him with those same ideas, that's fine. But I'm not in a position. Mark@fallofwesternman.com. He'll happily speak to you as well. He won't feel anything but feel like you're someone who wants some questions answered. But if you go in there saying something like, every time you don't like something, it gets your back up, you're going to have a bit of a stronger argument than that. But I don't know about this inclusive politics. Inclusive politics has got us in the mess we're in today. We've included everyone except for ourselves. So I'm not quite sure I agree with you on that. I'm not sure what you mean by it. Bruce Ball, in the midst of all that, says, I'm just a sexy boy. I ain't your boy toy. Which is okay. I mean, I wasn't sure anyone necessarily considered that you were anything else or even that. Matt Hammond uses headphones for work. I have to buy a new pair every 6 months. There you go. My mother had a pair of headphones that she bought when we first ever got a stereo. And I'm talking about 1979. She's still got them. They still work. She has to use a different jack, though. What an exciting stream we've had today. We've had a little bit of chat. We've seen some scissors being made. Moslab heard his voice across the airwaves and turned up. Yiz popped in. Natty got his back up. See you later, Alan. Take care, mate. See you tomorrow. Bruce Ball can't believe he actually got a mention after his absurd comment. Tony Sanchez. Tony. The definition of inclusive politics is undergoing change. Civil nationalism is being stress tested by the likes of BLM and Antifa, and people will be reassessing inclusivity. Inclusivity has done so much damage to Great Britain. Culture, the idea of culture is exclusive. When I see them in their holidays, their festivals in Cambodia, when they're doing their Buddhist thing, when they're doing their Khmer things, they're exclusive. That's what culture is for. It's repetitive, it's symbolic, and it's exclusive. It's their way of saying, we're the majority, this is our land, this is our culture, these are the things we do, and you're not part of it. It is intentionally exclusive. And that's why they do it. And out here, they do it every few weeks. There is a new festival or a Buddhist celebration or this day or that day. And it's intentionally exclusive. It excludes me. It excludes all the other foreigners. It excludes anyone who's not Buddhist. It excludes anyone who's not Cambodian. It's deliberately, by design, exclusive. We are us. This is what we do. This is who we are. This is our country. This is our land. This is our culture. You're not part of it. You never will be. That's why they do it. Now, in England and in Great Britain and America, Canada and Australia, all places of European descent, the liberal left has said, you can't do that. Your culture is exclusive. And your culture needs to be inclusive. But as soon as culture is inclusive, it ceases to function as culture. Because once you can't exclude people, once you can't say, no, this is us and you are you and we are different and this is ours, it's fucking pointless. You might as well fart into a chocolate box. Its culture is meant to be exclusive. And it's just absurd that in all nations of European descent, you can't do that. That's exclusive. That's exclusive. Yeah, it's fucking meant to be. And they've stopped that. And that's why they attack culture. Because it's powerful, because it's strong, and because it works. I do not agree with inclusivity. Yes, the eunuch said, exclusive is good. Exclusion denotes value. If what you have is inclusive, it loses its value because anyone can have it, thereby making it worthless. Exactly. Nora says, we need a party. Oh, we like to party, like the AFD or the Sweden Democrats. PA is more like generation identity. We won't win with a leader like Mark's backstory. The most successful nationalist parties are the moderates. Well, don't think historically that's the case. It doesn't. I don't really think Mark's backstory will count for shit because look at what they've said about me. They said I was grooming teenage Nazis. Doesn't really matter. They're going to be all over us anyway. The more powerful European nationalists get, the more you say like the German AFD. Did you see what they done to the AFD? Did you see what they done? Go and look into it. Go and look in what happened when they won that seat and they basically threatened the geezer's kids. He had to hand it over. And the point is, Nora, look, I have called Mark out about these things. I have called Mark out about some of these things. The point is this. Nora, are you going to set up the AFD? Is anyone in this chat going to set up a nationalist party? Anyone going to do that? Clock's ticking. Anyone going to set up a nationalist party? Right, so you get my point. Little bullet. The shamrock, the thistle, the dragon and the lion. There sits our culture. I like it. Our pal's going to set up a party. Okay. Do you know what I mean? And that's my point. That's my point. No one is. No one. She likes to set up parties. Hello, Cockney nut job. DBB says, what's the AfD? It's the Alternative for Deutschland. It's a nationalist party in Germany. Go and look into them. It's good stuff. But they're not making it easy for them. Good Lord, they're not making it easy for them. Developer. My kingdom for a developer. I'm not even British. Cecil's back, took the knock and came back. Joe Biden's backstory hasn't held him back. While you're about it, check out the list of corpses. Oh, I can't read that out. Hasidic and Orthodox Jews and Amish, all we have left in the USA. I read something, thanks for the donation, Ed. I read something about the numbers that are suggesting that the Amish might be some of the biggest white communities in America in about 50 years. Their rate of breeding. Red Bull syndrome. It's easy for us to criticize on the live chat sidelines. Mark and Mrs. Taylor have seriously put themselves on the line. Well, this is my point. Anyone else doing it? And Willow says Laura's as absolutely pure as a driven snow. And I think will almost certainly end up leading the party. Moslab's got on beat. If you think of the maths, if each of yours have 6 themselves, you've now got 36. If each of them have 6, and that's my maths abilities finished. Thank you. I know I get what your point is. People, on that bombshell, I've now been gibbering for an hour and 44 minutes. It's been a wonderful stream. I've had an absolute pleasure. We've had some interesting talks. I made my point that I wanted to make today. I've had some very generous donations, which is lovely. I've thank you all for joining in the chat. That's what we do here. It's been wonderful. We will be having a chat in the morning, probably about 8:30, a little bit later on a Sunday. Excuse me. John Palmer says this: if Laura does become the figurehead of PA, then people will need to stand by. Mark is a powerhouse, but in my opinion, Laura Taylor is the face of nationalism. I think Mark knows that. You know, I think Mark knows where his strengths lie, and I think he's proven that. But, you know. Good night, Charles. Pleasure having you. Good night, everyone. It's been I really enjoyed this stream. I'm in a very good mood because Saturdays are brilliant. And now I'm going to chill out. I'm not going to do any work. I've just seen that there's, I thought that was a new video from Sam Pilgrim. Damn, it's an old one. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to watch the remains of the day. I'm going to watch, I might watch something else. I'm not going to do any work on my novel. I'm saving that tomorrow. Tomorrow, 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock, Scrubs private streams. Just because I wasn't here live for Askgate. Cheers, Ted. Bring it back. I was trying to hope that has, kind of been forgotten. But thank you very much. I bet you're proper gutted. Keep the heart and fight smart. Exactly that. John says it's been a smashingly great stream. Thanks, Chris. Nice one, chum. Thanks to you and thanks to everyone. Now I'll sort this out and we'll leave it here like we tend to do. Here we go. Hang on. Who mentioned the football? I don't know how I feel about you all seeing what videos I watch. There you go, didn't take long. Thank you all. It's been absolutely lovely. We've had about 250 people watching from the beginning, which is brilliant. Moultrie Ice has just got back, and we are off. Take care, people. It's been an absolute pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And balls, I didn't put the sound on. Here we go again, every bloody time. Lovely to have you about, Moslab. Take care, everyone. And I will see you all in the morning. Ta-da!
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. The joy of loving is to live in the world of man. There's someone who's waiting for you. Soon the world will be yours for a toy. Music starts to play, night will turn to day. Darkness disappears when the one you love is near. You're in man. All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind. There's a place that is waiting for you. A world where the best in life is free, where time is always spring, happiness is king. The dreams you dream come true when the one you love loves you. You're in man.
Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, people. Make it an absolute lovely one, because soon it will be Monday. So spend some time with some people you love, have some nice food, maybe watch a video, read a book, chill out. I might catch up with you in some streams later. Ta-da! Ta-da!
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind.
I am not Spam Woman.